Hello there, this is Carla coming to you live Wednesday afternoon. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and here it was such a nice day. I got to get outside and go for a walk and get some yard work done, but more importantly, I wanted to ask you, hey Tracy, I have a question for you as to what type of salt should you use? Recently, I had someone tell me that they were on a salt-restricted diet, that actually they did not want them to have any salt whatsoever. And I did a little research on that and found out that that was really not the best idea. The person does have high blood pressure, so no matter what kind of salt you have, you should watch your salt intake. The average American eats about 3,400 milligrams of salt a day, or sodium a day, and our dietary guidelines say 2,300 is what we should be getting, which equates to about a teaspoon. But you have to really watch if you eat a lot of prepackaged foods or processed foods. They do have a lot of sodium in there to preserve them, but I wanted to share with you today about the four different types of salt. We're going to talk about just your regular table Morton salt. We have pink Himalayan salt. We have some sea salt, as well as some kosher salt. So the differences are, with your regular table salt, it is very refined. It's the most common. That's what you're going to find in most restaurants, or what most people have. It is highly refined, meaning that it's heavily ground, as well as it has impurities and the trace minerals are removed from it. The problem with the heavily ground salt is that it can clump together. For this reason, they add anti-caking agents to it. So that's something that you might not want to have in your diet, and it also contains iodine. Iodine's not that bad of a thing to have in there, but you really, if you're eating good foods, fruits and vegetables, lots of green leafy vegetables, you don't really need to worry about that. The next one is the sea salt. Now this one comes from a place out in Utah. Some of them come from the ocean, where they evaporate that, evaporating the seawater. But like table salt, it's mostly just sodium chloride. However, depending on its source and how it was processed, it usually contains various trace minerals like potassium, iron, and zinc. The thing with this particular kind of sea salt is it says it does have about 50 different minerals, so that's a plus compared to your table salt, which really doesn't have anything. Moving on, my favorite is the pink Himalayan salt. This one with the pretty pink color. Pink is my favorite color, or one of my favorite colors. Not that that really matters, but it has the most minerals to it. It has like 84 trace minerals, which are important for our health. And honestly, between them all, if you were to take them and put them all in your hand and just taste them, the difference between them is very noticeable. The pink Himalayan salt tastes the best, in my opinion. And it comes from a place called, now I'm probably going to butcher this word, but the Kiwira salt mine in Pakistan. It's the second largest salt mine in the world, and it does have trace amounts of iron oxide or rust, which is what gives it the pretty pink color. Like I said, it does have 84 different trace minerals, including calcium, iron, potassium, and magnesium, making it slightly lower in the sodium level than your regular table salt. And lastly, we have the kosher salt. Now this was kind of interesting. I'm going to see if you can, I don't know if you can see how, you probably can't really tell it, but the kosher salt has bigger flakes to it. So it's a larger grain that makes it suitable for different koshering processes. It's more if like Jewish law requires blood to be extracted from meat before it's eaten. Because kosher salt has a flaky, coarse structure, it is particularly efficient at extracting blood. So the main difference between regular salt and kosher salt is more the structure of its flakes. Chefs find that kosher salt, due to the large flake size, is easier to pick up with your fingers and spread over food. As far as the mineral content of them, between the table salt, your sea salt, and your Himalayan salt, the Himalayan salt does have a little bit less sodium in it. It has more, the sea salt and the Himalayan salt have more calcium, so that's a good plus. But like I said, the table salt is 39.1% sodium, and your Himalayan salt is 36.8%. Currently, there are no studies really comparing all of the different benefits of the different types of salts. However, the less processed salts usually do not contain additives, so that's a plus. And in our household, we really like the Himalayan pink salt. It tastes the best, in my opinion, and it also has the more of the trace minerals to to help with our health. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have a favorite or any input, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I thank you for tuning in and hope you found this helpful, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care.